Graduates, big up yourselves. Big up yourselves. I see you all. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Jay, big up yourself. Olivine, big up yourself. Hyacinth, I see you. Big up yourself. Yvette, big up yourself. Rochelle, big up yourself. Drea, 1969, good afternoon. Charms World, big up yourself. Gelson, nice. Big up yourself, Marencha. Stacey McDonald, big up yourself. Epic London, big up yourself. Yvette, big up yourself. Talk Truth UK, I see you. Space Tuba, that's a new name. Welcome to HTK Speaks. Janice McTaggart, big up yourself. Dawn in the building, big up yourself. Marencha, Marlon Ferren, great to see you, my brother. Andreen, big up yourself. This is not gonna be a long class. I'm gonna get to the point pretty quick and fast. So, graduates, you know the drill. Do as you come into class, like up the live, share the live. I definitely want this one to go far and wide. Far and wide. So please to share up the live as soon as you come into class. Oh boy. Graduates, you know how I roll. I never come out while everything is going on. I always come out after. I listen, I observe, I take in. And once I've come up with the full enough picture, then I come out. That's how I operate. And I think that by now, those of you who are regular to my channel would have gotten used to that. So, we're going to do a little bit of a 10 story in one approach to this, because there's been a few things that I want to address. First of all, I'm going to go down and listen, guys, let me tell you something. I had to meditate on this one, and I'm still meditating as we speak, because I'm not going to be as careful with how I say things, because I definitely want a direct targeted communication. So there is no mistake, no misinformation, no vagueness around who it is I'm speaking to or about. So this is going to be a slightly different style to how I normally do things, because I think at this point, it needs to be done this way. I'm going to start first with the whole situation around the apologies. The whole situation around the apologies. First of all, I want to say respect to both parties, both Dwayne and to Donegal. Both of them. Yes, I listened to it all. Don't worry, guys. I'm not flustered by the little this them and some. That not ignore that part, right? On Dwayne's page. Me not pay attention to that. I paid attention to what was important. Okay? And that is how I am. I don't get flustered very easily. Bad word no sway me. Name calling no sway me. It doesn't. I pay attention to what is the most important parts of the information I take in, and I walk away with the most important lessons. Now, a few people had a lot to say. Why HTK got this so? Why don't we learn to let sleeping dogs lie? Where you go rake up the ants' nest the far? All of these things. But you guys are limited in terms of how you perceive things. And I know you're limited because you are working on immediate reactions. I'm going to share with you something called avoidance theory. And I don't want no big words go over nobody's head. By avoidance, we should all know what that means, but in case somebody don't know what avoidance means, it is when you deliberately stay away from dealing with something. You stay away from dealing with it because either if you deal with it in the immediate sense, it may cause too much upset, or you don't know how to handle it or cope with it without causing a great, I don't know, ripple effect, upset, anger, all of that. So you stay away from it. That's avoidance. But I'm going to teach you something about avoidance theory and what that does to mental health. Because it is clear to me that some of you just don't get it. So just bear with me 1 second. Hold on the people as I share my screen. In the meantime, let me just make sure, Sam. My big up people. Hi, Janice. Who else have I not been? Sonia Pink, big up yourself. Andrea Hawthorne, big up yourself. Jeanette Johnson, I see you. Mika, big up yourself. Jesus Pilot Me, good to see you over here. Visitor, big up yourself. Yvette Wallen, big up yourself. Dej, big up yourself. Yvette, I see you. Vanessa Grant, big up yourself. So Walande, avoidance theory. I'm going to show you the best possible way to break this down. All right, here we go. Show me a thumbs up when you can see this screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see this particular graph that I've got here? Let me see if I can zoom my screen in even more so that you can see. That not help. Let me go back to the normal. All right. Maybe if I go straight into the website. I didn't really want to go into the website because it can be a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's nice and big. Can we all see that? Good. All right. So when you avoid things, yes, it's because you feel anxious, you feel fearful when confronting with a stressor or a problem, right? Okay, so you avoid it because you're feeling anxious, you're feeling fearful about confronting a problem. You then avoid it in order to avoid stress. You get those coping behaviors. You don't deal with it immediately. You left it alone because you avoid stress. See stage 3, the yellow part? Stress is relieved, but it is temporary because the problem is not resolved. The problem is not resolved. You continue to use avoidance, and this is how you use that to cope with even other problems. And then what do? You return to feeling anxious or fearful when confronting with a stressor or a problem. I want to teach you this because a lot of us on here, on this social media, are caught up in avoidance. Now, you may think that me not deal with it, me put it to rest, it done. But yet every time you refer to certain things, the hurt comes right back up to the surface. Now, I did make it very clear at the start of my life why it is that I discussed what I discussed, but it went over a lot of people's heads. So I'm going to say it again. I overheard when Dwayne said that the situation of the past hurt him. And that is why I said what I said, because I also saw where parties outside of that could have handled things better. And by parties, I should have said Planketarians and Donna. Okay? Because I want what is best for this lady, and actually because I have no hard feelings towards Dwayne, despite I don't dislike you. I said, you know something? As a voice with influence, because I now realize that I do have some, it may not be a big amount, and no, me no go viral. That was sarcasm when I said it. But it's a voice with influence. I can use my platform to possibly cause some healing to something that has been left unresolved because of avoidance. I had no prerequisite or request or expectation of Donna to come out here and apologize to anyone. I never said that. In fact, I said, I don't expect bridges to be mended. I don't expect friendships to resume. I didn't expect. Now, if my words connected with the conscience in a way that leaned somebody to make an apology, that was something that their conscience led them to do. And I respected the move. Right? Mm-hmm. I respected the move. I thought it showed maturity, it showed growth. Now, okay, people are going to argue that it was not the perfect apology. It was not good enough. It was whatever. I really don't care to pick apart or analyze anybody's apology. It was sincere enough for me, but whether or not the other person, that's a different matter. That's not for me to say. It's not my place to say it. All of a sudden, when that happened, of course, we know because emotions are running to the surface, the reaction was not, not brilliant. But I am a patient soul. And I know that Dwayne has a conscience. And that despite what the internet thinks, I have seen good in him on many occasions. And I am focusing on the positive. So I waited while everybody else was running up and down. Lord Jesus, what should I wake up and sneeze for? What should I do this for? Lord have mercy. I waited. And I said to you, I have nothing to say because I was waiting. Because when an individual has a conscience and has morals and understands right from wrong, and I'm not saying that everybody uses their moral compass, but when I have had dealings with somebody and I know to an extent that this person has one and is rational and learned enough to be able to understand my language, I waited. Big up yourself, Producer Wayne. I see you. Rochelle, please refrain from the name calling. It's not that kind of live. I'm not here to bash anybody or to add fuel to fire. So I am going to remove that comment. If you are going to refer to the person, Lord Jesus, me delete the wrong message. Sorry, Wayne, I know your message me mean for delete. Admin, I need you to pay attention to the comments. No name calling at all. None. Charms World, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but listen first before we start. All right. So I waited patiently. And of course, what I knew this person would do happened. But it happened on the person's own time. There was an apology, Charms World. And the apology was directed at exactly what hurt Donna. Whether or not you, the public, you, the followers, you, the subscribers, like how it was phrased, how it was done, what happened after, I really don't care. And I'm sure that person doesn't care. And I'm sure Donna doesn't care. What is important, and sometimes people, we have to rise above certain things. What is important is that it was done. We're not going to speak about the outside influences. We're not going to speak about the people who try to turn it or steer it in a different direction. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to acknowledge that two people who had a fractured friendship made an attempt to rectify what was said or done in the past. And if you don't believe that both are capable of avoiding at least that element of their discussions, that's on you. But sometimes you have got to give that opportunity a chance to happen. It doesn't mean that the person's perspective will change, but it will be handled differently. Just watch and see. Some of us are very quick to write off people. And I don't believe that many are different from the other on these social media streets. It may be done differently or said differently because two different people will have two different ways of communicating. So while one might cuss dirty bad word, another one will throw shade or give names without the bad words. Either way, the behavior is no different. You understand? So that is all I'm going to say about that. Dwayne, I have not blocked you. I did block you in the past, but you're unblocked. And all I'm going to say is this. Even though you said what you said or whatever, and you believe that I am a certain way, that's fine. You are entitled to your opinion. But at least you were not below the belt. And for that, I can appreciate your response. Done after that topic there. And there's nothing more to say about that. But I'm going to say this about my next topic. Some of you out here really don't want to see peace. No, you don't. As much as you're saying that this is what you want because you want sleeping dogs to lie, some of you out here are either looking for company for your misery, or you are wanting to feed off of the fire. And I'm going to speak to one person in particular because, oh, just to mention, Dwayne, when you played my live, you thought that that part of that live was for you. It was not. I did see that somebody was in your comments making it clear to you that that part was not for you. It really was not for you. So I'm going to address the person who it's for. Gracie, come here. You insist on calling my name in a lady. And I really don't understand why you insist on calling my name. Because me and I have no communication to that. But you insist on calling my name. Right? Okay, thank you very much, admin, for deleting that. Yes, as I said, this is not a bashing time, guys. I just want you to listen. All right? I just want you to listen to the class first before you make a comment. And if you do so, don't tear anybody down in the comments at all. Right? There is plenty other places where one can go and go to the bashing and the disrespecting. But tonight, we are going to keep it respectful. Gracie, you don't know me from a can of paint. And it's interesting because, and my John Shop Massive, you will confirm this. A whole heap of times when the social media was busy bashing you, tearing you down, disrespecting you, calling you all kind of names, I very rarely aligned myself with that argument, excepting when you came across as disrespectful. I never once referred to your body in terms of body shaming you. I never once insulted you or spoke down to you. And in fact, when you returned to social media after a break and that incident, I actually graced you with my presence. And I'm saying that very, very poignantly because I didn't need to be there. Coming out, look no clout for you, you know. I actually indicated to my graduates, go and give a support, man, Ray. Because I don't have a dirty heart, despite what you think. Now, you made it clear in your life that when I came on your life and greeted you, you deliberately looked past me. I saw the slight. Don't think I didn't see it. I saw it. So I left you alone. But it came out in your YouTube live. And I'm giving you the shout out because you know you'll get a bit more views from this. That the reason for you doing that was because you don't know me from Adams. Now, what a dirty mind is that? Really and truly, what a dirty mind. And I'll tell you why I say it's a dirty mind. If you listen to Lady V's recent live, she actually broke it down quite nicely. She said, if I see somebody who's another platform holder come onto my page and say hello, I mean, I'm not being verbatim, but this was the gist, and I deliberately ignore them, that suggests that I'm intimidated by that person. That suggests I have got something to be nervous about. Now, I don't understand why it is that you are buying out what you don't know anything about, when I have never addressed you in a negative way. In fact, your story that you told on your life about your relationship with your mother, I was the one who shared it. Yeah, when we did busy at chop content left, right, and center. And I shared it because I respected the move to share such a deep story. But I removed that video before I got monetized. Because I said, you know what, I'm not going to capitalize on this one because this was a heartfelt story. Now, you seem to think that I am out here in these social media streets to cause trouble, to raise up old wounds. Now, if I was to go down memory lane with you, how many wounds have you reopened? How many times have you rubbed shoulders with people and ended up having friction between yourself and other social media personalities? Why is it okay for you to do whatever you did in these social media streets, but you feel that you are here to put a bridle on head teacher K? And I'm going to remind you, just by looking at your history, and I don't have to go very far. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. Yes, Jay, it is live now. Yes, we are live now. Okay. Thumbs up when you can see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dawn. That is so true. You repped for her. Don't say anything, man. Just go relax. Yeah, understand. But let me just deal with this, right? So I just did a simple search in my YouTube. I just put in your name and I put in Auntie Donna's name. Simple search. Nothing attached to it. This is my my YouTube page. You can see who I'm subscribed to. All of that. I mean, I hide nothing. Right. So just going down that. And I'm just going to look at it from the surface. I'm not going to go into the depth. Look at the titles. I'm not going to read it to now because I know some of my graduates them can read. First one. All right. Next. Next. This one. All right. That one. This one. Just look at the titles. All right. I'm going to keep going down. That one. You know how it is with YouTube. You put in things and all kind of thing come out. This one. Yeah? 2 years ago. This one. I'll keep going. This one. And I can keep going. And keep going. This one. This one. Now let me ask you that. How much of that is not about raking up ants' nests? How much of that is not about stirring the pot? How much of that is not about doing too much? Did anyone stop you or feel like they could come out here and tell you to stop doing what you were doing? Who are the real hypocrites here? I told you tonight, I'm not mincing my words. I'm being very direct. And as you called my name directly, I'm calling yours directly. Some of you out here feel that because people are new, you can come disrespect. Because only you guys know how to do it, right? So what? An educated person can't do mix up? Really? In whose guidebook, dictionary, instruction leaflet does that exist? Which Bible of bloggers says there are no spaces for educational people for chat mix up? Last I checked, YouTube is for everybody. Now, how many of those headlines were about, oh, let's blog about regular things and avoid dealing with mix-up? Because even if your name and the lady's name were used as tags, how many of those were positive? And I could have kept going. I could have kept going, you know. And this is not me putting that out there. This is all over social media. But you insist on stepping into my lane. So I think I need to give you a reminder. You said that people out here are trying to set up people to attack you. Did I attack you? Did I come for you? Did I step into your space disrespectfully? Did I ever do any of that? Fair enough, you did not like how I handled the situation with Lady V. But considering that you are here and established in the game, why didn't you take the approach to actually say, you know something? As she came on my page and she was being so nice, let me communicate with her to say, babes, you could have do that little different, you know. But instead you're coming out here and you're shit stirring. And I'm not mincing my words. Because misery loves company. I said it. And I don't have to dip up under you, and I don't have to talk about what you look like. And I don't have to, I'm telling you hardcore facts. Now, if I was to judge you on the basis of what I've seen on social media, just by the headlines or the videos, and click into the little clips and don't get the full context, what regard would I have for you? But I didn't do that, despite knowing everything that is in those videos. And you said you went out of your way to slight me, like you thought that that was a smart move. But anyway, my graduates are not going to come for you. Them hardly ever venture over to that side. You claim to say that people say things, and because they're saying it in a nice way, and they're acting, saying the right words, and they don't want people to come for and saying, don't go for that person. They well, I know that they must set them up for you, attack them, but yet you put yourself in a position to get responded to in a not so positive way. So if people get up in their feelings and do what them do, who's to blame? You listen, do you know the amount of people who came for me with regards to everything else? I don't let it ruffle my feathers, because that's what social media is about. For every 10 people that are for you, there's another 10 that can't stand you. But I'm here for my graduates. All right, done after that topic. So, like I said, just to sum it up, I am here to blog on any topic that's trending, any person that's trendy, anybody who says whatever they say or anything that touches my heart, Head Teacher K shall speak. Just like you spoke, just like any other blogger spoke, be it from the ghetto, from uptown or middletown, We all have a right to speak. And if it is that you're thinking, I the plank of view she wants, there was many a time when those views were what you wanted. And the evidence is there. Don't let me have to analyze that. So if you and them fall out, me and them not fall out yet. If them a pick you apart, them not start pick me apart yet. Make me love them up for the time when them a appreciate me. Please and thanks. Luciana, remember we said keep it respectful. Just listen. Try your best to hold your fingers. I know you guys want to say certain stuff, but just hold your fingers, right? Because it's not about an onslaught. This is a direct response from Head Teacher K to the people who have called my name. This is not about time to run up and down and cuss out and no, not no. Just listen. Because some of these people think that if you present yourself too speaky spooky, too much big word, you're not for there so. Because them things say social media is a ghetto place. When since? Wanna try the classism in reverse? Try stop it. There's a place for all of us out here. But anyway, I've said what I've said, and that is that. But one particular thing I'm going to say is this. I don't dislike Lady V. I don't. I don't even know the lady on a personal level. So when you come out here trying to light fire and to make things a definitive split between people, you are acting like a stumbling block in these social media streets. And you, of all persons, should know better. Right. Let me keep going. Lady V. All right. Lord Jesus, look at me here now. Lady V, I listened to your live. I did. I listened to it. I appreciate the sentiments. There's only one thing. You know me, I like to rebut, right? There's only one thing I'm going to rebut. Just to make sure that the argument did not align with me. I'm not trying to compete with you. I don't compete. Well, it's interesting that because I was going to address certain things and I was on Facebook earlier, graduates, and I saw Dime's post, I was like, oh my God, Dimes, are you like reading my mind here? Because this is something that I planned to say. I had to share it. I was like, this lady is reading my mind. No, I don't compete with women or men or anybody. And the reason why I don't compete is because I have a certain type of personality, and there are some graduates here who will understand exactly what I'm talking about. When I'm going to do something, and there is one Rencha in particular who knows that this is true about me. When I'm going to do something, I am a perfectionist. It isn't because I think I'm better than anybody. It's because I have an obsessive compulsive disorder when it comes to knowledge. When I'm going to do something, if I don't master it, I won't touch it. If it's going to make me feel as though I have not done my best, I don't go for it. I don't know if that is to do with childhood trauma. It probably is, you know, fear of criticism. I don't know in terms of what I know and what I don't. And yes, there is a backstory there, but without being too vulnerable on social media, I try my best when it comes to presenting things to make sure that I have properly researched if I'm going to speak on it in an authoritative way. Is it authoritative or authoritative? I can't remember. So, because I am like that, I may come across as a Miss Know-It-All. It isn't that, guys. I've studied. That's all. I have a big flipping brain, and that has always been a blessing of mine from I was a kid. So I absorb information very, very, very quickly. It has kept me in top set for all of my academic life. Because my brain works, it's wired for information. So when I come out here and I'm speaking about something, I have done the research. Now, when it is that I hear somebody try to make me out to be a liar or try to make me out to be making things up, that's when my back goes up and I will roar. Hence my reaction to Observant TV. I'm going to bring in a bangarang observant because you and I, we've already dealt with that. But it was her reaction that led to my counteraction because I never addressed her first. And this is what people don't understand. When they see certain things, them just go, oh, this person is just, oh, and she just there, and she just, meh. But they don't know how it started. And this is always the issue with social media. Always, always, always the issue. Because people don't bother to do research, they don't track back, and so on and so forth. Had she not come out and go, this is not how blogging is done. Nothing so. She would not have had that side of HTK. You understand? But this is, once again, my bugbear. Because we all are imperfect beings. So no, I'm not out here to compete. I'm not interested in competing, especially with other educated females or other males. I have none of that in me. Naturally, I'm a leader and have always been. But it doesn't mean that I cannot follow when I'm guided with wisdom. You wonder if I have a personal vendetta against you. And now I'm going to answer your question. Sorry, guys, I'm not reading comments yet because I'm on a flow, but I am going to come back and read the comments. Don't worry. Right. So, there is a live that you did. Hold on a minute. I'm going to share a screen. I don't know if it's a live or if it's a video. Talk truth, I really don't know if you uploaded it after. I never really checked. Just wait with me 1 second. I'm going to pull it up. Just bear with me. Hold on, guys. Hold on a minute. Like up the live, people. 521 of you on here. Why me dig up that video there? Come in, know it gone. Come in, see it, and then it gone about it business. Hold on there. Like up the live while you're on here so that I can find this live. Right. Hold on. If me not find it, me have to go to describe it. I'm probably do a screenshot of it and post it little later. but I really wanted you to go to that particular live. It was done 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And I believe it was while you were on your journey about peace and stuff like that, and wanting peace on social media. But in this particular live, I'm going to talk about it while I search. In this particular live, you were talking about how we should behave on social media. You were talking about the fact that we should do better. We should stop using derogatory language. We mustn't swear at each other. We mustn't call each other out of our names. You spoke about body shaming. You spoke about a number of things. And really, that was amongst the first videos that I watched with you. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this person is cut from a different cloth. You know, she really is here to shake things up and to bring some kind of positivity into social media. And I always used to kind of poke fun at you with your use of Htk'S, because it's a little, it's a pet peeve, right? But other than that, at the time, I was like, wow, she's blowing me away with her approach. And I think we need this, okay? And that was my first impression. And even though this was my first impression, I tuned in occasionally. Before I became Head Teacher K, I used to follow your page. And when I followed your page, hold on there, people, let me go in on my phone. When I followed your page, I wasn't Head Teacher K. It was just my normal legal name, okay? So you probably don't even remember that I was there and used to communicate in your chats and everything. You probably don't remember that I was there. And as such, because you don't remember, you probably don't remember that you used to call me out and stuff. Because you know, you have this thing where you call people's names. But that is how interesting social media can be, because it's like things will happen and, oh, here it is. It's this one. Okay, I'm going to go into it and I'm going to like it so that when I go back to my history, it will show. All right, hold on there. Yes, so you used to hear me up all the time. And you probably don't even know it was me, but I saw it go. I have never resented you. But what I did do was lose the respect that I had for what you represented. Remember, I don't know you, you know. And I lost the respect for what you represented when, I mean, mind you, I always used to say, me not agree with this or that way you said, but it wasn't a loss of respect for what you represented until the very principles you first put out here, you went against when you fell out with the landlord. That was a time when I saw you at your worst on social media. And this is not said in a way to tear you down. I'm telling you the honest truth about what I perceived and how it affected how I viewed you. Right? And when that happens, and I heard the names that were directed, and I'm not getting into whether or not it was justified anger. Me know what landlord did I do. Me not go in at that, right? Me not going into that, right? I know that when it comes to our children, we can be feral, we can be vicious, etc., etc., etc. But what I saw was a side of you that was genuinely you. It's not a criticism, this. Listen. It is genuinely who you are, in that when you lose it, you will say anything. Yeah. And because of this, and because of this, it causes people to question your ability to guide, your ability to be a mentor and so on. Not all of us, because some people can look past it and so on, but some of us can't look past it. Some of us can't, because some of us have high expectations of people who place themselves in a position of trust and guidance. I don't know if I'm saying this right, but I hope you get what I mean. I think if I had known that, listen, this is how I am. Listen, guys, I may have some good views and good ideas and whatever. But you see, when me get mad, me head just cheap. And una have to forgive me. I would recognize that you yourself have got conflicts within your personality that we should expect. But when you present that kind of perspective, and then you come out and you do something else. I mean, even listen recently, when you were addressing the same lady the way you did, you called her the B word and all those things. And I know you think that you think there's nothing wrong with that. But to me, that's why I call you duplicitous. And it might be a strong word, and I'm sure you took offense. But that's why I think like that. And I just wanted you to understand that I am not the only person who thinks like that because of these things, not because of your amazing side, not because of how intelligent you are, not because of some of the wonderful, uplifting messages that you've put out there, because they have been wonderful messages. In fact, we had a common friend. Thank you very much. Me not say your first name, because your first name will get me in a problem in YouTube. I'm vegan. Thank you for the super chat. And I'm telling you, this is HTK being raw and open. I'm not going around any bush. I'm not trying to nice it up. I am not putting it in no pretty words. I'm telling you exactly raw how I feel. You said it in that live that there are some of us whose words will matter, whose words will carry far more weight. Now, I don't necessarily 100% agree with all of that, because the people who come out here and them chat the rab and patois and them cuss and go on with themselves, a whole heap of the masses can identify with how they express themselves. Remember, those who are not what you call lettered far outweigh the number of the lettered in our diaspora. So these people have got a powerful reach because they are the majority. But what I will say is that our words are weighed more heavily because they can transcend our borders of the diaspora and cross over into international understanding. Therefore, the impact can be far-reaching should the message go out. And as such, you also, when you are in that position of somebody with wisdom, because that last live was filled with wisdom, your reach can transcend borders. So when you then go and you then go to that standard which you presented as one not to go to. All right, here's the live. I'm going to show it. I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to show the image because, you know, I don't want it to be a copyright issue, but I just want you to know which live I'm talking about. Hold on. All right, guys, can you see my screen? Tell me if you can see my screen. Show me a thumbs up. Show me a thumbs up, guys. All right, show me a thumbs up if you see my screen, guys, because I don't want to keep talking if you can't see. Thank you, Jay Summer. Thank you. So this is the live I'm talking about, Lady V. This one. Donna, Harry, Gracie, Dwayne, and Chit Chat. This live. Right? Oh, actually, it was 1 year ago. My bad. Okay, my bad. It was 1 year ago. I take that back. I stand corrected. 1 year ago. All right? I want you to go back to this live, Lady V. And I want you to listen to everything you said here. And you probably don't need to. You probably remember. Because I don't know. I've done so many lives, guys, that sometimes I don't remember. Yeah? This live. And when I started to see certain things, and then I reflect on this live, and then the situation that came out with your daughter, my first perspective was to judge you. Yeah. My first perspective was to blame you. Because I thought to myself, if I'm seeing double standard on social media, there must be double standard going on in the household. I'm not going to lie. That was my first perspective. And I'm sure I am not the only person who this was their first perspective. Your fault. But after that, I started to observe the situation more, learn more about your daughter's situation. I followed your daughter. I never go into only, me never go in our personal business. I just followed the public ones that were on Instagram and on TikTok. And I got to learn what your daughter was about, and I listened to your daughter's lives. And I understood her story, and I totally empathized. Now, what irks me is that certain people, no, I'm not going to say certain people, Gracie wants to put a narrative out there that all I did was come on here and talk about you and your daughter in a derogatory way. Graduates, you have been on my page. I want the ones who have been here originally now. Put down in the chat. Have you ever heard me come out here and disrespect that young lady? Put it in the chat if I am lying. Put it in the chat if I have ever come out here and said anything nasty about Tenille. If I have, say yes, you have. Put it in the chat. Because today I face my demons. Put it there. Those of you who have been on my page, put it there. Put it in the chat if you have ever heard me come out here and say that landlord is right to disrespect her daughter. Have I ever said that? Have I not always said, Lego the little girl shirt? Did I not say, stop the disrespect? When that story was shared about your daughter, it was I who made people understand the full narrative. I never came out here with that story to malign her character. I stood in your shoes and I understood what happened. And I spoke about it to the point where even Donna shared it on her page. At the end of that live, everybody thanked me and said, we now understand. So when people are out here telling you I have a personal vendetta against you, just know it isn't a personal vendetta. Because if it was, what would I have done with that subject? What could I have done with that subject? Of course, there was other things that he did that I did not agree with. And I definitely spoke about it. But you do not make up the majority of the content on my page. You don't. I do tend to speak mostly about things that I don't agree with, yes. But I also share lots of other information. By the way, happy Independence Day to Grenada. I don't want to forget it. Happy Independence Day to Grenada. That just popped in my head. I don't want to forget to say it. But at the end of the day, I want you to just realize that I have listened to you. I respected what you said. I understand where you're coming from. I also want you to understand there is no competition and that it really is about what we put out there, right? I can only judge a person by what they present. I can only understand a person based on what they present. But rightfully so, and I stand corrected on that, it doesn't mean that I know the person. Just like it doesn't mean that you know me, because you don't. And if you were to really sit down and listen to those videos where I ever spoke about your daughter, you will realize that Kingston 13 isn't the only person that was having your back. You shouldn't have deleted that one. Kerry Cooks, that is true. That is true. She was on that live exactly. This is why I don't understand why it is that Gracie feels the need to spin a narrative that it was done in a disrespectful way and a personal vendetta way and all of that. We can debate out here, you know, and I'm not saying that how I've debated has always been in a pleasant manner, but I'm telling you why it may not have been pleasant because of how I have seen the track record that's presented on social media. And you people think that this does not affect how bloggers up and coming will reflect on you or speak about you, but it does. Just like how my approach affects how other people may analyze me. You understand? And I have to stand accountable for that. I have to look at it and say, well, I made it, so I made it go on with myself and I made it rank with a person there, you know. So anything they want to say, they have to say it because I saw. But I do not try to portray myself as somebody who is leading with guidance and wisdom and trying to get people on the right foot. I actually just accept people for who they are, which is why my page can be a bit colorful. Sometimes I would post people with chip pure bad word because bad word don't faze me, right? And sometimes I'm posting intellectual stuff. Sometimes I'm posting common knowledge stuff. Sometimes I post joke because I am accepting of everybody. I accept you for who you are. And I don't act as though I am incapable because trust and believe head teacher K can cuss bad word when she get mad. But I am guided by, I have a solid support system. Guys, I have people in my group, people who are on the end of a phone line. One person in particular, you know who you are, who says to me, Kay, I don't want to see you do that again. Don't do it again. And I have vowed to my inner John Shop family that I will not stoop again. Because they want to see me aligned in a position where people can respect me even if them not like me. But what I will not do is come out here and say things like, I resent you. Me not like you. I don't do that. because I don't know you. Which is why I clap back and say, well, you're just a topic. But I can say, you are more than just a topic. So that is what I wanted to say about that. Now, there are people who, there are times when, of course, you know, when I see certain people decide to dip up under me, and so I will just block you. Because if I say to you that I rate you, this is what I want you to understand about HTK. You see, if I look at you and I say I rate you, it means that that was somebody else you could have guided. Because as much as I'm new to this, I'm true to this, and I've said this a million times. But everybody out here has to prove themselves in one way or another, not necessarily to other people, more to yourself, that you can stick it out. This is why I find it laughable when Gracie said, oh, you have a day, I feel a year for me for anger you. But I've been here for years. You just didn't know. Do your research. But all I'm saying is that when I say I rate you, I mean that, which means that you are in a position where you can actually communicate with me. And it's not many people I listen to. But you see, if you take that position, say you see I've done something that you don't like, you're not happy about it, and you take that position and you decide that you're going to address something that you don't like about me or something I've said that you don't like, and you start to dip up under me or tell me bad word, you've lost that position. You've lost that position. So if I've blocked you, it's because you've lost that position, because you could have handled it properly. You could have handled it differently. Some of you out here with more experience are showing us who are up and coming in the blogging world that the only way to handle conflict is to tell people about them mama, them past, cuss out, peer clot, and all these things. But yet you have people who you handle with pet gloves because you consider them to be your child, your daughter, your next of kin, you know, or whatever, because you see something in them where you identify with. But being your brothers or your sisters' keepers in this blogging world, because some of you claiming this is how it's supposed to run, you know, I listen to, mean that whether or not somebody is educated, speaky, spokey, squeaky voice and all, you should be able to level it up, to say, look here now, come here. Come we talk. What really are going on, yes, sir? And I would respond. And I would listen. Because I've always said it. I am never above correction. I'm a very reflective person. Self-reflective. And that's why sometimes HTK goes quiet. Because I'm listening. And I'm listening with understanding. And I'm interpreting. And I'm reflecting. And from that, I grow. Right, let me go through some of the comments now. I've been talking for so long, guys. Let me just scroll up now because I don't want to make it look like I'm ignoring my people. I'm not ignoring my people. Let's go. Oh, why are we thanking the grads? Charms World is what? Is what gone? Rose, Kitchen and Vlogs. People just need to practice what they preach. Exactly. It is something. It is a thing for some of us who value honesty, you know? It is just a thing. Mrs. Obama said, when they go low, we go high. She needs to control herself and practice that. And I don't think that that is bad advice, Lady V. I don't think that is bad advice. All our head can chip, you know. But You see, when you have a handle on language, your head can chip in a different way. And even if your head chip and you have a cuss to clot, right? The name calling, that part is such a letdown every time it happens. You know, and I'm not talking about when I go lady with the number or lady with the alphabet, because that's just me being cheeky. That's not me being disrespectful, right? It's me playing on words, in other words, right? It's me playing on words and not wanting to call out people in a very kind of confrontational way, but it clearly didn't work. So I've gone back to the drawing board with that, because the whole I want to say one of vex about it. So me now use it again, just out of respect. Mega low that. Right? And when I'm now dealing with I'm a call on a name and no vex. Okay. Right? My son was letting me know my grandson just got his acceptance to Morehouse with scholarship. That's why he interrupted my class. I'm a happy grandma right now. Oh, wow. Congratulations, Charms. That's really nice. Congratulations. It's always such a blessing. Hey, she came sorry for you know. You're gonna have a whole heap of haters. No wonder they quiet, but don't stop speak, Sister J. I don't care. As I've always said to you guys, I'm here for my subscribers. I'm here for my followers, my supporters. That's why I'm here, right? So we all have, if we're gonna look at it that way, we all have haters. And every time somebody rises, you're gonna get more. As sort of thing said. So me can't really think about that. Oh, yes, exactly, Dej, and they aren't hiding it. Exactly. I used to watch her live at the beginning, but I stopped because of her two-sided manner. I no longer know what she stands for. Do you see? And I don't see why we don't realize that we can sometimes, reflect. You have always had a soft spot for her daughter. Yes, I have. I have always. Never. You always said that this is the only time you'd be sympathetic with Lady V, correct? But she make us know who is the lady daughter and what she does for a living. But she make us know, no, Daddy Kush, there's a whole history to that. The daughter wanted her story to be told, right? So that's why that was there. So that's that. You never did that. You empathize with her, right? But don't call names, please. Okay, yes. Kids have to go through something before they realize that parents have their best interests at heart. We have to let them find their way. Trained motivational speaker, etc., must know how to articulate themselves from the flying stones. Yes, do not go down there with persons who have no reasoning ability. I wouldn't say no reasoning ability, just who will struggle with understanding certain language. And I know that there's nothing wrong with getting down there with your language as long as you keep it to a certain standard, because you can chat your patois, whatever. You're not have to go certain place. You understand? So that is how it is. We know you before you got big from the platform. Keep being you. You're gonna ruffle some feathers, but it comes with blogging. Big up yourself. Your time to shine now. That's right, Rochelle. And a lot of them are sitting and laying in the wings, because they can't wait for the plank of them to tear me apart. Them say it, them say it up and down the comments, people. Up and down the comments. The plank of them soon tear her apart. And we can't wait for it happen. They cannot wait. Because it's like say everybody have every single plank of tearing off as being the most horrendous thing on social media. I've observed you. I was a part of you. I was once what I call blanketarian. Now I have to separate myself from for the sake of branding, but I'm still very much in the shop. And I've always seen you all for the colorful and interesting and fascinating and loyal and supportive people that you are. So I don't know why it is people are shying away from saying that they want your support. I don't have a problem with it. And it doesn't bother me. And I am not going to ever run and call on names. That's just not something I'm going to do. If anything, I will stretch my wings and I will garner more support from different parts of the world because I have the capacity and the capability. So I don't understand it. After nobody out here, I look for years of service. Sensible people out here looking at facts and respectable arguments with a little bit of drama. And And we love the little bit of drama. HGK is very respectful when she speaks. Thank you so much, Sonia. Listen to a lot that happened on social media. Made me listen closely and listen for myself. Sometimes we're too quick to dismiss those that are misunderstood. Learning to listen objectively. Sorry, Kay, but this lady comes across very fake. And as much as that sounds very harsh, Yvette, this is what a lot of people will think who don't know her. And I know that the people who will defend her and so on, it's because they've gotten to know her outside of what we call, you know, the social media, face of social media. So they will defend her tooth and nail because they know a different side or they know more about her. You understand? So yes, that was one of the feelings I had as well, based on what, and that's why I've drawn her particular attention to that video. I really want her to just go back and just watch that and see how that was many people's first impression. That's all I'm asking. And that is that. Teach them now, watch it, because them not understand you. I know watch it because they don't understand you. Lord Jesus. You single-handedly built yourself and platform from the ground up. I definitely did. I did. My John Shop people know that I did. There was a time, you see, people, when I said, I will not post anything on my page to do with Donna Marie Go. I did say it. And I said, I'm not going to do it until I'm monetized. I'm not. And if you go back, I avoided. I think the only time I ever did it was like when it was her birthday, or if it was the yellow bus movement, that. But other than that, hardly anything. I posted stuff from different parts of the Caribbean, TikTok, all kind of things. And I avoided. But you see, the moment I was monetized, I said, yep, let's go. But before that, nope. Because just because I know how people stay. And if you look on my YouTube, it was the same. Just because I know how people stay. And the fact that they're going to say, Adana, Belio, a Planka Shop, Belio. I wanted to do it on my own. I got my 1K views on my own, my 1K followers, subscribers on YouTube on my own. I pushed on my own. You understand? You post Brit till I blue. Tell you, I was obsessed with Brit for a time. I really was obsessed with Brit for a time. Everything was Brit. You know, and so people don't know your journey, and I don't know everybody's journey out here. And sometimes it really is about taking the time to know somebody's journey. Now, the difference between myself and the other established bloggers is that they have got a track record. So essentially, I can look back just from the social media patterns and the history on social media, and I can get to know them just by that. And when I say get to know them, I don't mean personally. I mean get to know their social media personality. So because I am new, my personality may not necessarily have as much of a track record on YouTube or on Facebook in that manner. But I am not new to social media. I'm not new to leading groups. I have had a group for years, not just John Shop. I have been on social media for years, just behind the scenes, quiet, studying, listening, and deciding when it was the best time. And when Donut said, stop wasting your time in a phone. One time she did this really impassioned speech, and she said that the whole of you no have phone. Where we now go out there and just run up and down and a chat for free and you know, she did, you know how she go on. And when she said that, I said to myself, I have a lot to say. Why shouldn't I? And I decided I would do the blogging thing on the side. Many people are like, oh, you're a teacher. If you're a teacher, we are doing a blogging. Well, I'm not a teacher. I am a trained and fully qualified teacher, yes. But I am self-employed, my own boss. And I still work within the education sector. You just don't know what I do. And you won't know because, you know, someone too fast. right? But I am my own boss. I manage my own time. I make my own money. So just think about it. If I was in a classroom, do you think I could be on here? Do you know what the policies are around, social media and teachers? If I was under some school? No, my love. In a Chris voice. No, my love. I am not a teacher. A whole heap of them who are teachers who are out here blogging in the sister, they have to hide them face. Me not talk. But you know who you are, right? All I'm saying is that no, I'm not a classroom teacher. Listen, I have over 15 years of experience in the classroom. Okay. I stepped away from that and I am now my own boss. Schools headhunt me. And that's as much of a clue as I will give you. You hear me? So when I say I'm my own boss, trust and believe. I am my own boss. And that is how it will remain. Anyway, guys, my gosh, look how much I want to over here. um, big up on herself. I don't follow 99 page, nor do I watch her live. I might go on the recorded live and take a look and leave. I can't make her richer, sorry. Okay, Jay. And that is fine. Everybody has a choice. You follow who you follow, you listen who you listen to, you respect who you respect. But a lot of the times our own behavior determines how much people respect us, right? All of us are accountable. So once again, big up to every single one of you graduates. Like up the live on your way out of class. And I hope you have understood where I'm coming from. And I hope to God I haven't offended anybody and people now gonna run out content about me underneath or cuss out my class because I can't bother. And I look, right? Just understand that this was a direct lesson. Big up yourself and I'm out.